In this video, we're talking about a very useful tool called Skywork. This new AI tool is a collection of AI agents that can take care of a lot of your day-to-day tasks. It can make documents, PowerPoint slides, spreadsheets, web pages, and even podcasts. It also supports a lot of your general AI chatbot functionalities. But one very important aspect of the work that it can do is deep research. It can collect data about whatever new research or project that you're doing, and then output the insights in whatever format you want, including building an entire social feed or building a blog and managing it for you. So here you can select whatever format you want. We have documents, slides, sheets, web pages, podcasts, general. You can attach your files here like PDFs, docs, images, etc. Here you can choose whether or not you want the agents searching the web for you or not. I recently traveled to an AI conference in Vegas called AI4. By the way, thank you to Skywork for sponsoring this video and giving me access to Skywork, because that really helped me get a lot of work done before the convention. So I used Skywork AI to do the research into the conference and what to expect. So I typed in AI4 conference in Las Vegas happening August 11th, 12th, 13th, do a full research on this convention, who is speaking, who is organizing, what is interesting about it, anything else that's good to know. So the agent begins to break down tasks, generate various subtasks, and creating a plan on how to complete this project. It's looking very good so far. It does tons of MCP tool calls, searching the web for various background info it's going to need to complete this task. It found the top speakers, the various events, the workshops that this conference has. And at the end, it gives me a quick overview of everything it found. As you can see here, just a quick sort of executive summary, just the top level things I might need to know. But it also provides various detailed research reports that give me all the other information that I requested. So as you can see here, we have various docs with the conference research report, conference insights, conference speakers, and conference research. It's very easy to understand, gives me all the dates, the addresses, the speakers, everything that I need to know, easy to read. This was very useful, an actual breakdown day by day and almost hour by hour of the main speakers. And this is sort of like the final big research report that it gave me, the definitive guide to North America's premier AI industry event. Notice it's presented as this very high quality polished report that could be a blog post, for example. Talks about Jeffrey Hinton, who was one of the keynote speakers. Fei Li, again, found their images to put on this report, other notable keynotes, etc. Running a deep research like this saves me tons of times. It could be 10 minutes to a few hours, depending on exactly what you're trying to find out. For me to put together something like this would have probably taken hours. Notice it included venue and travel, even though I didn't ask for it. In the future, I would even maybe say, hey, also figure out, hotel prices and ticket prices, stuff like that. It included ticket prices, but next time I would ask for more hotel pricing, stuff like that. Overall, I'm very impressed with how thorough and accurate it was. Next project I tried was slides. I wanted to try something that's going to require some charts and graphs, some visuals. So I asked Skywork AI to create some slides to show what it found. So again, it's doing deep research, and the output instead of a document is going to be slides. So here I said, how big of an impact do tech stocks have on the performance of the S&P 500 over the last 20 years? What drove this? What's the next biggest contributing sector? So again, Skywork goes to work. Tons of searches, and eventually it starts doing kind of a text outline of the slides that's going to have, and quickly the task is complete. And here are the sheets, so they appear within the Skywork platform, right within the web page. And I gotta say, those are some good looking sheets. Just at first glance, they appear very polished, great color scheme, very readable. I am blown away. It's very impressive. This was probably the best AI generated sheets that I've seen. Notice some of the elements respond to the cursor hovering over them. We can also see exactly where it's getting the information, so it's not hallucinating anything. It has links It has citations, so you know where it's getting the information. You can go and double check the information for yourself. It has citations on where it got that info. You can edit everything right here in this view. So at the top here, if I click edit, I'm able to edit the slides as I see fit, right? So if I just wanted to change the text or something like that, I can do it like this. Very simple. It's very responsive and very, very easy to use. I gotta say, kind of cool. But let's say we click save. We can also regenerate the pages. So we can click regenerate this page, and it's gonna get to work to figure out how to regenerate to make it better. There's also a code view, so you can see the code that is written. It's in HTML that produces those charts and graphs. So you're able to put this online or just get the code, reuse the code as you see fit. It's all right here. And if you just want to download this and use it, you can. You can download it as Google Slides, PowerPoint, so PPTX, PDF, or HTML. So now you can see here, the second slide has been regenerated. So it kind of put the charts in different places, and it tripled the number of insights that it provided in that chart, in that page. Okay, so that's when we're doing deep research and we're using the outputs as slides. Definitely got to say, some of the best looking slides I've seen that are AI generated. But of course, real business means one thing: spreadsheets. Lots and lots of spreadsheets. What kind of a business AI agent would this be if it didn't excel at spreadsheets? Pun totally intended. So for the next test, I've created a very detailed sales data about a particular company. This company is a blacksmith set in an RPG game. I created this dummy data to see how well Skywork would approach analyzing something that it could not search for. Something where it just had to look at the data that we provided it. So we know it can do deep research online. This is, can it just look at the data that we have and analyze it and find insights within the data? And I'm pretty sure blacksmiths of old did not use spreadsheets to track their sales, so I think we're good there. So I uploaded this sales data and I told it to give me a sales overview of this store. What are the best months, and also any insights about the business and what products and or seasons are best. It goes through and thinks about what it has to do. It asks some questions. You don't have to answer these. If you just wait 20 seconds, it just kind of automatically continues. But if you wanted to kind of fine tune exactly what you wanted, it'll ask about performance metrics and various other things that you might need specifically from this project. It runs a number of MCP tool calls using the Jupyter notebook in this example to analyze all the data, creates various charts, etc. Notice it doesn't do any online search to find any data. It's strictly looking at the data that we provided. All right, so let's briefly look at how well our blacksmith is doing. So best selling, most profitable categories. So as you can see here, weapons dominate, followed by armor, etc. Here it breaks it down, the leaders in revenue and profitability. And like I say, it has some pretty good insights. It notices that while jewelry has the smallest revenue share, it maintains the highest profit margin of all categories that are listed here. So it's not just spitting out the numbers that it finds, it does kind of think about some of the underlying things. It tries to gather some insights and then reports it back. We have some customer insights, adventurers spend the most, followed by city guard. Interestingly, it notes that merchants and guilds have the highest average transaction values and the highest profit margins, while villagers have the lowest. So, if you were running an actual business, you could use some of this data, some of the things that it sort of found insights on to maybe find areas for improvement or find areas to focus on. We also looked at enchanted versus non-enchanted items. So as you can see here, the non-enchanted items are, driving the majority of the revenue. The profit margins for the enchanted items, however, are substantially higher. It notes here that that presents a significant opportunity for growth. So if you're able to focus more on the higher profit margins items, that might be a significant opportunity for growth. It also looked at the sales channel activity, such as a storefront, guild contract, and traveling fair, as well as the location performance. Anyways, it did a really good job of breaking everything down. It found some nuggets of wisdom, nuggets of insights from the data. It didn't search online like we requested it not to. Here's that where you would have selected. If we click on it, it turns blue, meaning that it should search. If we turn it off, no search is done. And like I say, it's very impressive. Definitely just dumping a huge spreadsheet in there and asking it to analyze everything step by step and gather the insights. This is something you usually hire human help for, right? So you have hires that go through this, analyze it, and give you the important points. This did it all on its own, and it did it very, very well. Notice that my prompt for it wasn't that specific. I kind of let it figure out a lot of what it needed to do. And I gotta say, the information, the insights that it brought back were very good. Next up, if you click on one of your existing projects, there's this loading screen with Pac-Man running around, which actually gave me the idea for this project, which is to create a website in the style of 80s and 90s video games. Create a ranking of the top 20 video games released in that era, each with its own webpage. So it gets to work, it figures out what it needs to do, does tons of research to figure out what games were out during that time, ranks them, and in the end, we have our retro games ranking. So here it is, a Retro Gaming Hall of Fame, the golden age of gaming, 1980s, 1990s. It has actual sound as you're scrolling down. And you're able to turn it off here, but I like the fact that it built it in. So as you can see, we have Sonic, Tetris, Doom, Street Fighter. And if we click on the games, it has a whole page written about them. Publisher, developer, what kind of a game is it, when it was released, cultural impact, tech innovations. This is phenomenal. This is exactly what I was looking for. It really nailed kind of the look that we were going for. It knew exactly what games to put on there. So overall, I would say it's very impressive, definitely an A+. This is exactly what I needed. Now, also notice that this is a real live web page it produced. You're also able to look at it within the AI agent. You're able to see it here and see the code that was written in HTML, how it produced that website. You're able to download it and just create your own web page, take it to your own host, upload it there, and use that HTML to host that very website that we saw wherever you want online. Definitely very fast, very impressive, and everything worked very well. There wasn't any weird issues or bugs. It's, as far as I can tell, just really accurate across all tasks that so far I've given it. But that brings us to one of the more interesting sort of outputs that it can do with its research, and that is a podcast. It can actually generate a podcast. One of the podcasting genres that I've been seeing is kind of that real life horror stories, doctors perhaps doing terrible things, or some real events in history that are very dark and scary, kind of like the real life horror podcast. That's been a very popular genre. So the question is, can Skywork create a podcast in that genre that would be worthy of a podcast excellence award, if those things exist? So I gave it this prompt. We're going to the podcast agent and we're saying, create a podcast about the creepiest and scariest historical facts. Make it not very kid friendly. Create something that is unsettling and informative. So it asks you a few questions. Again, you can have it auto execute. You don't have to answer them, but if you wanted to kind of fine tune and customize, you can do so here. How long do you want the podcast to be? Do you want one narrator host, or do you want two hosts, etc.? Do you want to focus on modern history, medieval, ancient, etc.? And it produces the podcast. It does a ton of online searches to find all these weird historical facts, writes out the actual podcast sort of show notes, the transcript, and then provides the voiceovers. And here is the actual podcast. Let's take a listen.
Welcome to Dark Histories Untold, where we dig up the most disturbing and unsettling facts from humanity's past. I'm Victor, and today we're going to explore some truly nightmarish historical realities that will make you grateful you're living in the present day.
And
yes, you heard that right. People in medieval Europe would literally consume ground-up human mummified remains as medicine. Who took it never woke up again. Between the poisonous concoction and the surgery itself, medieval operations had horrific blood volume while treating him for a throat infection.
speaking of blood, the dancing plague of the Middle Ages is one of history's.
At one 4th century burial ground in England, 17 out of 52 bodies were buried this way.
And we can't forget about one of the most unsettling.
So I feel like that was enough for me. It just started saying, but we can't forget about the most notorious. I just stopped it right there because I think that was enough. I think it completed the request perfectly. That was rather dark. It was a podcast. It felt very real. It didn't feel like AI voices. It did feel like two people discussing it that were radio personalities, right? There's a certain style of presentation, a certain way of speaking. You can imagine something like this being like on the radio or something like that. That's kind of how they talk. So certainly nothing about it felt forced or wrong in any way. It felt like two hosts presenting these medieval dark histories. So I got to give this an A. This was absolutely terrific. Now, once we're done with the podcast, we are able to download as MP3 or the Markdown that just has all the text in it. I'm actually seeing more and more AI-generated podcasts popping up, so maybe we'll be hearing some made by Skywork AI. You never know. In summary, this is a very impressive tool. Skywork definitely surprised me a number of times with its abilities. It's very clean, very effective. There's no bloat. It does things in the way that you sort of expect it to do, in the way that you would expect a competent hire to complete it. Like if you had a real human employee to delegate your tasks to, this is kind of what you expect to get back. Deep research works extremely well. The charts and graphs on the sheets are probably the cleanest that I've seen from any AI tool. Overall, it's a very solid AI tool. Here's the big point. If you work with research, content, data, or presentations, this is a great, powerful tool to have in your arsenal. If this seems like something that could help you, you should subscribe. The minimum monthly fee is $19.90. Try it out for yourself. The link is going to be down in the description below. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. My name is Wes Roth, and I'll see you in the next one.